Okay, hopefully this works. I'm not actually too sure, only because it's a new setup with everything that I'm doing, and um, it's with my podcasting equipment, and I haven't done this in a while, only because I didn't really have a good setup before. But anyways, hopefully this is recording, and the quality of the sound is really good. But anyway, welcome back. And also, because I have the setup now, like right currently, I could talk a little bit longer, because I was very limited on the anchor.com app. I think anchor.fm website. I was only allowed 5 minute podcast, but and then I would have to re-record after 5 minutes, and that was just a pain in the ass because I would have to pick up from the last part. But anyways, I could just record on here. Hopefully this picks up really well. And yeah, I got a setup going, and I guess let's start talking about whatever I want to talk about. Honestly, I'm really glad that I have something like this to express my creative side on life, only because I could talk about really anything, right? But yeah, so I guess maybe that's where I'll start with this conversation, really. Make sure you have something that you could take a break from your everyday life and you really enjoy doing, right? I know we're getting into a phase in our lives where we're going to get busy with full-time work and everything. And yeah, it might be something you love, like obviously because you study for 4 years or whatever your reason. But it's good to just take a step back, right, and do something different. If that makes sense. It makes sense to me, really, when you think about it. For example, I'm studying business right now, and I look at Excel sheets all day, talking to people, and this is really my break, kind of, from all that. And it also comes with a lot of assignments. Well, I guess any work does. But yeah, this is like my breather, where I can just be like, alright, time to unwind, right? And it's all different for different people, but this is something that I think is kind of productive too. So it's like taking a break from something and also creating something in the meantime. And it might be completely different for anyone else. Maybe for someone it might be taking like a half an hour walk or working out or reading a book. Make sure you just like have something to relax yourself once a day. Or maybe like twice a week. Depends on your schedule, really. Anyways, that was just my thought I just had. And really, I'm so glad that I started this with the equipment or whatever it was. Yeah, I don't know. And it's kind of crazy how people are listening to me, you know? People are just finding me. Like, people I've never met have heard my voice before, and it's like a weird concept to think about. But I think it's the age that we live in now, right? Anything's possible. And who knows, maybe this could be something huge. Hopefully that, like, I say something that, like, and I keep saying like again, but hopefully I say something throughout a podcast that someone can resonate with. And if they could tell me that, that would just make my day, right? Yeah, so just make sure you have something to relax and rewind. And thankful that I have this podcast, and thank you for the journey that it's provided me. And also this is kind of like my way to like rant about the world. And that's kind of cool. Because who else has something like that? What can I say? I'm a dreamer. Hopefully this is recording, man. I have no fucking clue. But, anyways, that was just a quick segment. But I guess I could really talk about it is I'm starting to get into my final year of college. And I was just like thinking to myself, what's the next plan after this? And to be honest, I'm not really sure. And I think that's okay. Only because when I think about life in general, we're so relatively young, but we're expected to make these decisions now. I think I really started living when I was 18. So I've really been alive for 3 years. It's just crazy to me that I had to pick something that I was going to study for 4 years when I technically started living, and now I would expect to do this for the rest of my life. And obviously, if I don't like it, it's a huge waste of time, and I gotta figure out the next chapter. But, and the more I'm starting to realize what I'm studying, it's something. But we'll see. I think it's good that I am learning more though. And honestly, it was more of college was there for character development, if anything, right? Going to school with different people from different backgrounds and learning how to communicate to get a specific task done. It also kind of taught me, like I was always a talkative person before, but it kind of taught me how to approach different people, right? What might work for someone in order for us to work together or get to know each other or hang out might not work for everyone. So I think that's kind of cool too. But yes, I'm graduating in May, and now I have to figure out what I am going to do. We'll see. Maybe if this podcast really comes out, I could be like interviewing famous people. That would be fun too. But food for thought, like the first thought. But yeah, I think even when I get my full-time job or whatever I will be doing full-time next year, I definitely want to still be continuing this podcast, only because it's crazy looking at the numbers that we actually have full-time people listening to us. And I think it's good that I'm becoming more consistent with stuff, especially with this, because I think consistency really does build character and drive results throughout anything, really. It's really good to become habitable, to build habits at this part of your life, habits that will kind of affect everything going forward, right? Only because we're so young, so imagine you building a good habit now, and what would that mean in 10 years? Like, if you think about compound interest or compound growth or the snowball effect, whatever you want to call it, what could that habit be in 30 years, 40 years, right? Unimaginable. So, really try building good habits now, if you can. Most of my viewers, or listeners technically, right, are kind of young. I was just looking at the numbers the other day. And it's kind of cool that I have this data. Nothing crazy, but it just tells me like the age and gender. But yeah, if you can build really good habits, whether that be like working out for 15 minutes a day or drinking 2 liters of water, or maybe not using your phone within the first hour of waking up, and then just see how that progresses over a month. And then if you feel really good about that habit, continue it. And then to see how long you can keep going for. Wow, imagine I just changed someone's life because of my thoughts. Boom! It's a deep thought question. That's a deep thought right there. Anyways, that was just like 4 or 5 different conversations all in one podcast. Hopefully you guys find this interesting. I definitely do. Only because, I don't know, just thoughts of my day. And really because of like COVID and work and school, it's like, alright, where else am I going to share these thoughts with? That's why I got the podcast. Anyways, I will talk to you guys relatively soon. It is Thursday, September 23rd, 2021, and you're listening to our podcast, well, my podcast, Living Life and Making Dreams Possible since 2000. Make sure to follow on Spotify. Sorry guys. hit my headphones. You can follow us on Spotify and get updated on new episodes and stuff. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends. Let them hear the podcast. I'm always open to growing, evolving. If there's a topic you guys want me to talk about it. Yeah, really anything. Alright, till next time, thank you.